July was the month that we focused on our finances, and today we are going to close out our budget. Did we put more towards our debt? Were we able to save? How did our expenses look? And what really happened when it came to all the money that came in and what we did with it to not only find that balance and explore life, have fun, and really still enjoy summer, but also get ahead of 2025, the back end of those goals and all that I talked about in my mid-year reset. Let's jump right in to our income, our expenses, our sinking funds, spending funds, and our debt, and where all of our money actually went in the month of July. So welcome back. My name is Bridget. I'm 26 years old. I'm a wife, a stepmom. I work a full 9 to 5 while focusing and balancing in my passions to become my best self, live the life of my dreams. And I hope that I have created this community to inspire you to show up as your best self by believing in yourself, building the life of your dreams, balancing your day-to-day life with priorities, boundaries, and setting yourself up for success to bloom daily until you become that version of you that you have been looking to live. It's important that you know all of your areas of life and that you start balancing them out and figuring out what is going to matter in this season of life. When I did my mid-year reset, I really focused on that July was going to be about finances. We were going to figure out exactly what we were going to do for the rest of the year, and I think we really accomplished that. And then in July itself, it was important to still have fun because our life is very chaotic. We live in the house that we rent in, but we're also trying to buy the house, but then we have some debt. We just did a bathroom remodel, so we have debt in there, and I just didn't know where our money was going to go for the rest of the year. It was just getting a lot, but life happens, and finding that balance and figuring out exactly where your money is going to go from month to month and as the month goes on is really intentional, and it has to be something that you're confident about, that you feel like you have control over, and that you can show up as your best self, even when it comes to your finances, which really makes or breaks a lot of people. Now, I want to remind you that our financial situation is unique to us. We are dual income. We are in a higher income time for my husband. This is his busy season, one of 2 of them. It's about to go down, so July was a great month to do this. And then also on top of that, we get rent from our tenants and we pay limited rent for where we live, in all honesty, but we also have a high grocery bill. We have high truck payments. We are paying for a shower enclosure that is in our rental. That sounds crazy, but it's investments into our future, into the equity of this house. So there's a lot that goes on that are not normal in most people who rent life, but for us, this is what works for us. Don't compare my 2 years of balancing my life, doing my budget to your day one. Just see how I do it and make it your own and figure out what works for you and your family. So let's jump right in to our budget. If you've never seen a budget video from me, we have income, expenses, debt at that bottom, and then sinking and spending funds. It's really important that these are the categories that you have for your life. It's important that you know the money that's coming in, the expenses for your emergencies, in a way of like, if anything was to happen, those are the bare minimal of the expenses and the essentials that you need to pay for. Then sinking funds is all about your savings. Spending fund is where you find that balance, and your debt is really important to know what you have to pay every single month for your credit cards, car loans, personal loans, student loans, all of that all adds up into your debt. And it's really important to try to work on that as time goes on, which you guys will be seeing from us towards the end of 2025. I do think I'm going to do more quarterly budgets just so you guys are seeing bigger numbers and it's not as specific, and I have a lot more coming out, so I think we're going to do these more quarterly to check in, and the numbers are going to be crazy, but it will be so much fun to kind of see what 3 months of my life actually looks like. So we'll see what happens with our budget videos, but let's jump right in to what we expected versus what actually came about. So it was a great month. We are staying on those low income numbers for my husband because you never know when it's going to go back down. But of course, we almost doubled every single week, which was amazing. We do that because it's easier to budget in the future based off our lower numbers, and there are months that he makes $450 a week. He is part-time. He is the one who has our benefits. He is the one who has a 401k, has all of the health insurance, all of that. So we are working towards getting me off health insurance to be part of that and really understand why we're getting so much pulled out every single month, and making sure that we are planning for success. As you can see, he gets paid weekly, I get paid bi-weekly. I make about $1,880 every 2 weeks. Now, that being said, we always do $1,750, even though we know it's going to be the same, to have a little bit of that $100 buffer just in case anything happens in life. For rent, it's always $1,400 between our two tenants. They are family, and we were lucky to have a work reimbursement this month for about $430. Now, you can see, if you've seen our budgets before, what do all of these red mean? Well, what it means is that we had a huge health and wellness bill come in for insurance. Did not pay for some of my dental work that I had done in 2024, August of 2024, and I was getting that it was going to be sent to collections. I am still going to try to fight the insurance company, but before it can ruin my credit or anything go on to collections, we did have to pay it. So we had to pull $1,750 from our emergency funds. We are going to be honest with you and say we were lucky that it was only $2,040, so we knew we would have a good month of money, that we would be all set. But overall, spoiler alert, we were able to actually put $1,000 back. So that's kind of how it all balances out throughout the month, that's where our money went. It's really confusing. I don't normally do it this way. So sorry if you've never seen a video from me, but I wanted to talk about those because those are not normal for us, and we were lucky enough to make enough money to put $1,000 back. So where did the rest of our money go? Our expenses, $1,400 always. We weren't supposed to have any bills, but we did have a small bill come in from the dump, which is fine. We had to dump a bunch of stuff and their system was down, so we got a bill. $140 is always our internet, $35 for my husband's phone. We pay about $500 for utilities. It's a rounded number. We pay my mom or our landlord, and she kind of either makes some months or pays the difference. Then we had $1,115. It was a little bit much, but I had to shop at the beginning of July, budget for when I went away on a trip, and then even though that was at the end of June, and then we had to restock our house, so that had to happen. And it's summer and we're all home more, and we're going to the beach, and we're bringing our own food and all of that. Gym, $35. Our gas was right on point at $2.55, so we'll probably stay at that 300 number. The only reason I say that is because when school season starts, my stepson plays football and we are out there a lot, and he goes to school about 25-30 minutes away from us, but sometimes it can be traffic. Unfortunately, health insurance killed us this month. Between that $2,040 and the $360, that's what we were trying to get rid of, that $310. Get rid of that so that we have that to put into debt or savings or something else, to not have that hanging over our head. And I was right on track with our subscriptions this month, which was amazing at $300. So we still have about $6,000 sitting here to budget, but you always need to pay your debt payments, which was $700. We over budgeted that. And then we always pay $450 for our shower install. So $4,720. Were we able to save? We were. We saved exactly what we set up for auto save, and the same with our other, which is our car insurance, which comes out in December, and we only have like a month to a month and a half more of that until we're ready to save for other things such as emergency funds, more towards our home, and so much other things. So we will be working on that, and that leaves us $2,470. But we only planned to do almost $1,500 in spending funds. So what did we actually spend? Well, we did really good in his or her this month. We really cut back because we knew we wanted to go camping and we had to get camping stuff. And I was like, okay, camping stuff's gonna be about $500. It was $780, but we got some great deals. We bought everything that we could possibly need, and now we can go camping, and that is for us to replenish our camping stuff. That was air mattresses, camping tents, tarps, everything you need as one bulk in a month. And we knew this was going to be a good month, so why not pay towards our adventures and not always spend so much on hotels and other things and really get into the wilderness, take that time and be intentional where we're not watching TV and actually spending time together. And then other and miscellaneous, we did pretty well as well at $350. So overall, we did pretty well. We still have $690, and I was like, what am I gonna do with that money? I don't know what we're gonna do, and I decided to put an extra $550 into our home project shower debt. So this month we paid $1,000 towards that debt, and we will be working on paying that off. It's really important when you do your budget, you understand what works for your family, what works for you, and what is going to come about and how you can alter and shift. With that being said, with the $1,750, we actually still brought in about $2,500 more between my husband and I, which was amazing, which was those extra paychecks that really help you analyze how much you can put on the months that you have an extra paycheck of where your money can go. It's important that you realize that we're still $750 in the negative. We still are off on our emergency fund by $750. Now let's talk about where we're at with our percentages. If you don't remember, we take our income and we want to be in 40% or less of our expenses. We want to be in 5% or more of our debt that we are paying off. We want to be saving about 30%, and we want to spend less than 25%. So let's look at where we were budgeting and then where we actually sat. So based off what we were planning to do was our expenses were going to be a little bit high at 45, but it ended up being 47. Not bad at all. For our 5% of debt, we are killing it. We were hoping for 13%. We hit 13%. Awesome. Of our income. So that stayed right on track. That extra payment really helped us stay towards that 13% of being able to pay that off. Our savings, we wanted 25%, we got 25%, so we're right on track there. Less than what we want to save, but that's okay. And then for spending funds, we wanted to stay at 16%, and we actually spent less at 13%. So I'm really proud of where we're at. Remember, this is our family, our life, our finances, and it varies so much. So if this is the first video you ever saw of us, know that we are not normally saving that much. We are not spending that much, that we don't have all these extra bills and extra paychecks every single month, and that when you are looking at someone's budget or their current situation, it may not be that they have it all figured out, and maybe that they just found balance and that they believe that money is something that they have control over, and they're building their wealth of what matters to them, their family, and their goals. Honestly, for us, we are trying to pay off our shower installation. We're trying to save for our home. We need to make sure that we have all of our bills that are come out at the end of the year ready to be paid off. And if we don't plan it this way, then how am I going to see that success? How am I going to make that happen? But I also need to understand that life's going to happen. Things are going to come your way. That's why I needed to bloom this emergency fund, this pocket of money that I have for when things come up. I also had to understand that there's times where we just don't save as much. There's times where we only save $1,000 a month, and luckily this month we saved $2,250 towards our actual goals, and those months seem crazy. We also are making an extra $2,500 for an extra paycheck each. So it's all about that give and take. You're not going to have it all figured out. I still don't have it figured out. Every month is different. Every day is different. Things come about. We have the fair next month. Budget, we have to replenish our meats, which is really expensive. And then we have adventures, birthdays, things that are coming about in August and September that made July the reason why we focused on our money. But I'm also going to make sure that I can live my life. And we've bloomed to this point of understanding that. We've made these decisions and we have analyzed and reflected and resetted, and you can too. It's important that you understand where your money's going, what your finances look like, but also that you're focusing on other areas of life throughout this time. Yes, I focused on money in July, but next month in September, I will not. We'll probably check in again in October and see what we did for August, September, and October and see where we're at. It's really important that you focus on your dreams, your goals. I will be here. This community is here for you. I cannot wait to see you believe in yourself and really make your dreams become a reality by balancing your finances and really showing up for yourself every single day for what matters in that time and in that season of life so that you can achieve your goals. And I hope that this community inspires you, that you learn something from this video, and I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys.